Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Here's a couple headlines from the Crypto Basic. The first one is Wall Street expert says it's lucky to have XRP at low prices and to accumulate. And so, if you want to talk about silver lining, look, for some people, it does present an opportunity to have way more XRP than they otherwise would have before XRP finally hits a new all-time high in the market cycle, in this market cycle. And I'd be very surprised if that doesn't happen as long as we have a proper alt season and no black swan event happens. But as disgusting as it is what the SEC did to prevent XRP from hitting a new all-time high last market cycle, with the price being much lower today than it otherwise would be, it does present that type of opportunity. So it's okay to recognize how horrible it is what the SEC did, but also recognizing that as a result of that, for people that have been getting in over the last couple of years while XRP's been suppressed, it has presented that opportunity to get in before XRP finally gets to a level where it's not quite as easily attainable, at least not in the quantities that many people would desire to accumulate. There's also this headline. Will XRP overtake Ethereum as SEC moves to classify ETH as security? Okay, so here's the deal. I'm sure most of you are aware XRP has been number 2 in market cap a number of times over the years. Now, that hasn't happened in, over half a decade at this point, but of course, the SEC interfered, so who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if last market cycle of XRP would have been above ETH. Now, there's a bigger gap than there otherwise would have been, making it harder for XRP to get back to that number 2 spot, but I will just tell you, XRP has been coiled up now for over 6 freaking years. When this thing goes, don't think that it's, and I'm not so bold as to make a prediction, but don't think that it's impossible for XRP to get back up there to that number 2 spot. Especially, when there's this other factor of, I think we would probably all agree it's highly probable that ETH is going to hit a new all-time high in a price discovery. It depends on where ETH is at that point. Is ETH going to go first and then start to pull back, which would just make it easier for XRP to finally take that number 2 spot when it finally does go? So there are a lot of moving parts to all of this, but suffice it to say, I certainly think it's reasonable to suppose that it actually could happen again. It's definitely well within the realm of possibility. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so into this first piece. Prominent figures in the XRP community have argued that XRP has the potential to witness a 10-fold gain in this bull cycle, potentially staying below Ethereum in the market cap. Wall Street experts see XRP low prices as an opportunity for accumulation. Okay, and so I appreciate the bullishness here, and I just like getting a variety of people's opinions on where XRP is going to be going this market cycle on the record, and it'll be fun. Once this is all said and done, it'll be fun to look back and see who was correct, most precise, and who wasn't. Now, I appreciate the bullishness here, but I think a 10-fold increase from these levels, and again, fine, I admit it. I'm not so bold as to make a prediction, but that's just because I'm not a chart guy, I'm not comfortable doing that. But I have a suspicion, just having been in the space for over 6 years, about what might be reasonable to suppose, and this just seems incredibly conservative to me. The idea of XRP only going 10-fold from here? Okay, maybe. I'd kind of be surprised. I'd be pretty damn surprised, to be honest with you, especially after how long it's been consolidating. Over 6 years, quite literally. That'd be kind of shocking to me. And then this expectation it's going to stay below ETH. Well, okay, fine. Maybe that's a higher bar to cross since there's this gap is artificially wider between XRP and ETH than it otherwise would have been if the SEC hadn't intervened. Because there are all sorts of people over the last few years that didn't buy XRP who otherwise would have. That means that XRP today is much lower in price than it otherwise would be. Now, it doesn't mean the gap can't be closed, but I admit, it's going to be harder for XRP to hit that number 2 spot and take it from ETH, but it can happen. Anyway, piece continues. This view emerged during a recent analysis of the XRP market and other coins by Abs, the host of the Good Morning Crypto podcast. The session featured Linda Jones, a renowned Wall Street analyst. During the discussion, the podcast host endeavored to address the mounting concerns regarding XRP's subdued performance in the market. He pointed out that during the 2017 bull run, when Bitcoin cracked its previous all-time high, XRP traded 80% below its peak. Highlighting the current scenario, Abs emphasized that XRP finds itself in a comparable situation. He noted that Bitcoin has recently surpassed the $69,000 milestone, while XRP is still languishing below its previous peak by a substantial 85%. Considering the disparity, the host observed nervousness within the XRP community regarding its performance, which he deemed unjustified. Yeah, that part I'll agree with. I think all of the worrying about this doesn't make a whole ton of sense, to be honest with you. In fact, let me pull up this. Yeah, actually, okay, I'm glad. I thought I had this pulled up. This is a post from chart analyst Cryptolica. This is an XRP price chart going back to 2017. And for those of you looking at the screen, you'll notice that he has a trend line here and a number of arrows. He's got several arrows here dating back to 2021. And the line, you can see the line goes back further into, beginning of 2020. And what you'll notice is that this whole time, despite the volatility, and despite not hitting a new all-time high last market cycle, just go back to this first arrow that he put right here in 2021. It's been higher lows ever since. And I don't think most people in the XRP community, I don't think most XRP holders are even aware of this, to be honest with you. Well, certainly the people bitching up a storm on the internet don't know, or maybe they'd shut the hell up, because despite this being the case, XRP bottomed this market cycle in June of 2022, but even before we got into the depths of the bear market and throughout 2022, go back to last market cycle, still look at where the low, it's been trending up ever since then as well. It never got back down to those levels that we saw, like in 2020, 2021. It's just been up. And it's broken above this trend line right here. For those of you looking at the screen, you can see what I'm talking about. And this is an XRP USD chart. Frankly, the XRP BTC chart, as I've been highlighting in recent videos, looks even more bullish. And I don't want to get into that in this video. I talked about it, a bit in depth yesterday. But it's still going that direction. So we'll keep watching it. But this is what most analysts following XRP have said that we should be watching for. There are so many reasons to be bullish about this. Absolutely. There's a reason that I'm this is the most optimistic I've ever been as an XRP holder, and I've been holding XRP since November 17th, 2017, and I've never sold a single XRP. But, I'm going to unload this market cycle. I hope I'm sufficiently enticed to sell all of it, because I will. And by the way, if that happens, I hope people are happy for me. I'd be happy for you if you got it would entice you to sell, that's for sure. But understand that doesn't mean I'm not long-term bullish for XRP. It just means for me personally, that would be an outsized portion of my total net worth if I did that, in all likelihood, right? But I once the market tanks back to the downside, which has happened at every point in history, it will happen again. Yes, I would dollar cost average back in, just like I started doing in 2017 into 2018. I started heavily dollar cost averaging after XRP dropped from its all-time high down to about 55 cents. That's when I started buying in. I just kept buying and buying and buying as the price went lower. I'll do that again. Hell yeah, I will. And then there's this headline from the Crypto Basic: Will XRP overtake Ethereum as SEC moves to classify ETH as a security? And so by now I'm sure you've all heard, of course, that the SEC is seeking, that's a word on the street anyway, they're seeking to classify ETH as a security. Now, they haven't officially filed a lawsuit, but they've been seeking all sorts of evidence from multiple firms. They're going after the Ethereum Foundation. And so the piece reads as follows: with the SEC moving to classify Ethereum as a security, the big question is whether XRP would be able to overtake ETH's market cap. The crypto community has been engulfed in a series of debates following reports that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission is considering classifying Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, as a security. And folks, I've said my piece on this. I'm not surprised it's happening, because it was different leadership in charge in 2018 when there was the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass speech, and then in 2020 when the lawsuit against Ripple was filed, Jay Clayton was in charge. Those two asshat pricks are gone, so that's fantastic. Or at least it would be if we didn't get, spawns of Satan to replace them, because we've got Kim Jong-Gensler and some other monsters and terrible attorneys over at the SEC just to replace them. So that's unfortunate. I don't care for that. But given that there's different leadership in charge, it shouldn't be surprising to anybody that they'd go after ETH. So fine, previous leadership very clearly didn't want to. Kim Jong-Ginzer, he gives 0 FOX. The animal, the fox, he gives 0 of that. So, which is why you see posts like this, which, totally fair to point out. This is from XRP community member Minus Wells. He said, and this is right after the news broke, he said, the SEC sues Ripple and the price of XRP drops over 50%. The SEC goes after Vitalik and the price of ETH goes up more than Bitcoin, which it is funny on the surface, and he's stating factual things. I don't dispute that. But I do think that there's good reason that we're seeing what we're seeing here. First of all, in the case of XRP, that was an actual lawsuit against Ripple. And effectively, yes, they were suing XRP holders, or they might have well been. It's tantamount to suing them. In the case of this, there is no lawsuit filed yet. So, big difference there. Definitely very big difference there. But still, you would have thought perhaps it would have spooked the market. Except, I'm not surprised that it didn't spook ETH speculators, to be honest with you. Because, frankly, when it comes to, any sort of claim against them, not only is it the case that they haven't filed the lawsuit, but it's the case that we now have legal clarity for XRP, and I think that as a result, other speculators in the space are assuming that even if there's a lawsuit, we're probably going to get a similar lawsuit that would be favorable for ETH. That would be my guess. So I think there's good reason that ETH is still behaving pretty favorably here. And it's such a monster at this point, it's kind of laughable to think that it would get taken out. And I don't want it to get taken out. I don't want the SEC to attack them. They can try, but they're going to fail again. So we'll see what happens here. But yes, as far as I said, can XRP take out ETH in terms of market cap? Yeah. It's going to be much harder than in 2017, though, unfortunately. And even when it did in 2017, it's short-lived. But XRP is going to be moving up and coming for that spot. Better believe that. We'll see if it gets there. But even if it doesn't, the opportunity for the multiplier effect, it is still there. That's what really matters. And honestly, let's be real. In the end, that's what matters. What type of multiplier effect from this moment in time are we actually going to get? Or for you, whatever your dollar cost average price is for you listening, what multiplier are you going to get from that price compared to where the peak's going to be? That's what matters, right? And then, selling along the way, presumably. So it's going to be fantastic regardless. It's going to be a hell of a ride. We really, after going through the hellstorm that we did these last few years, we deserve what's coming to us, as long as it's good stuff. And I think it will be good stuff, though. So we'll find out together, but I am very optimistic for that. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.